couple more Gatorade in there. Nice. Actually, no, I'll save that. Make sure this is working. Yo, what's cooking? How we doing? All right, just getting ready. Let me see. Getting ready, gonna do some miles. What we got? Today I'm at Captree State Park. Used to come here to fish, hang out. Been coming here my whole life, basically, but they built a really nice bike path, like a really nice one. Not too long ago, maybe a couple of years now, and it extends from Captree all the way down to the Robert Moses pencil. So we'll see how far we can get. But I got new shoes finally. Look at this. I'm not taking them off, but freshies. It was impossible to find them. Another piece fell off of these, so I was just like, I'm done. So, done with those, got some new shoes. And been running around all day, so it feels good to skate, get some miles in. I figure I'd take you guys along with me. How we feeling today? Hey, I used to work on a boat. Nice, hell yeah. On the other side, I'll probably end up skating past it, but there's a whole line of fleet of charter boats over there. All right, cool. Done. What do we got? Phone off. So take this styling down. That's what I gotta do. What's all this? Let's tighten it slightly too much. Money. Oh wait, hold on. I think it's time. I did it on my own. That was just me and you. Alright. Hold the phone, guys, 1 second. I did it. All right, guys. So what's up? How are we feeling today? I am ready to skate. That doesn't make sense. Hold on. Alright, what happened here? Oh. Yeah, Danny, I think he just got home today, maybe. Pretty sure he just got back. Oh, yeah. Forgetting. Sorry, guys. 1 minute. Stage vibes, what up? What's cooking? How are we feeling today? Hold on. Just getting some things ready over here. I am like, oh, screw it. So, I'm going to Montauk this weekend. That's the plan. So go skate days this weekend. So I guess I'll probably end up doing it out there. That's probably will be the plan. Not sure how or what. Maybe we'll just hit the local skate park or cruise around town or nothing. We'll see. Anyone ever been to Montauk? One of my favorite places to go relax and chill. Interesting. Hey, yeah, surf casting in Montauk is awesome. This is kind of weird. All right. Okay. All right, guys. Well, let me see. This is kind of crazy. All right. I took my bag out of here. Just basically had everything in it. Like everything I had prepared for the trip, so all my backup stuff isn't in here. Damn. All right. Huh. Okay, this is kind of crazy, man. One more try and then we're out of here. All right, guys. Huh. I got a little bit of a dilemma. I broke my bearing and I took out all of my extra bearings. So now I can't get any in. And the only ones I have are these seismic ones. But they got this like crazy thing on them and they don't fit in any other wheel but maybe the seismics, because I'm like trying to get these in and they're not going in. So I don't know if we're gonna be skating today. My house is a little far from here, and I'm pretty sure I don't have one extra bearing, which is insane, but true. Crazy, man. Crazy. Just roll on one bearing, maybe? How about that? Okay. This is stupid. Oh my god. Alright, I don't know if we're gonna be able to skate today, guys. Damn. That's crazy. I got no bearings, man. Alright, let me see. How am I gonna solve this problem? I mean, I guess I could go drive like into town. It's gonna take forever though. That's insane. Now I'm telling you, I'm trying to figure it out and it is not going well. I used to work at a skate shop. I'm pretty good at figuring these things out, and I'm not able to here. Hold on. Okay, maybe I got an idea. Wait. One sec. Aha! Okay. All right. We submit. Okay, I found these wheels that fit with these bearings with the seismic thing on them, so. All right, we're gonna have to take these wheels off just for today and try these on to make it happen, but at least we get the skate. They're a little smaller. Crazy. They don't feel great. Maybe they're meant, I think they're meant for the other wheel. The wheel I did with the cross country on, I feel like these are more like regular wheels. But, okay, these are Seismic Oscar Defcon 57mm 81A. All right. turned into an ordeal. All right, halfway done. Okay. Yo, DoorDash bearings, not a bad idea. Not a bad idea. Doodlini, what's up, man? How we doing? Doodlini. All right, guys. This is a weird setup we're doing here, but we're just getting out. We're gonna make it happen. I was planning on skating trying to do 20 miles. I feel like that's not gonna happen anymore. I do not feel that is a possibility anymore. Okay. You guys think these are made for this? Look. Probably not. They're stopping. Whatever. We have bearings and wheels that roll. So, let's go. Was not expecting that. That's hysterical. All right. We're just gonna leave this mess till we come back. Put you guys on here with me. Let's go. Okay. Keys. What the hell? All right. We did it, I think. That was more of a problem than I've had crossing the whole entire country. All right. Get this in my backpack here. Guys, we got new shoes. Feels good to not be slanting sideways, but also a bit weird. Oh wait, did I lock it? Cool. Alright, so that right there is the Robert Moses Bridge. And that's the Fire Island Inlet. It goes out to the Atlantic Ocean, coming from the South Bay. This just feels weird. Alright, it gets smoother. There's a bike path. Oh yeah. Jenny Vest. Jenny. So anyone who tuned in yesterday saw that a viewer bought my lunch or dinner while I was out. Turns out I got a tip off that it was Jenny. Jenny Vest. Thank you. It was a nice surprise. We got a little Oriole. Bird dog. It's crazy because, alright, here's something I never really thought about. This setup felt so perfect yesterday, right? It felt so dialed. And right now I feel all off balance and weird. And so the cruiser wheel has more of a like recessed spot for the bearings to go in, and they're like wider. And so I think it's just creating a whole different feel because these are almost like skinny, like soft street kind of style wheels. I didn't think it would feel as different as it does, but it definitely does. There's all the fishing area over here. Oh, let's not forget. Gotta stay in our habit. You know, they should really put a water fountain right at the beginning of this trail. So guys, this is where I first did my long distance skate, like first one, I got up to 10 miles and 20 miles, all the way up to 50, did like a couple of 50s, and then I did the first skate across America. But this is where I came and practiced and like figured it all out. I would come and it was cold. It was cold. And I would work as a server. So I'd work like, I'd come here like 6 a.m. or like 7 a.m., not whatever. I'd skate 50 miles for like 5-6 hours. Then I'd go all the way home, eat food, ice my legs, and then I'd go into work from like 3 to 10 p.m. or something to serve. And I was getting more sore than I do now. Like I was, still getting used to it. Like Jello leg type sore, Oh yeah. And it was cold. I bundled up. My beanie. Went to the doctor today. Basically learned nothing, and just gotta wait to get an MRI. They gotta check with insurance, so no updates. I'm not sure how service is over here, but I feel like I remember it being okay for the most part. Great spot over here. I've caught some fluke over here. Some blues. It's not the best spot, but it's okay. Look at this bun. How you doing? Very still today, the water. Sometimes it can really rip through here. It must be a slack tide, or close to it. And you guys got the Pushing Through America photo book. There's a shot from above looking down. It was shot from up on top of that bridge by Matt Dardano. And it's me pushing like half on the right is water, half on the left is the path, and you see rocks and stuff. When I first started fishing, I used to come here all the time and try to catch bass. See some people over there right now, actually, on the other side. I bet there's blackfish here too, but if you're gonna bridge fish, you're probably better off going to the inlet side. Hey, fellow New Yorker here. Gatsby. Well, Gatsby's from, out east, right? If I remember correctly. Those guys up there. How you doing? Let's see, guys. All right. Let's see if I get any honks out here. So we're on like, you know, the side of a highway essentially. Ocean Parkway, actually. Let's see if we get any honks. I say we get at least one, maybe two. So we'll set the over under at 2, I guess. Yeah, it's crazy how much more off balance I feel just with those wheels being different, like street wheels. News 12 has not contacted me, Jenny. They covered my last story, so maybe they just weren't really interested in covering this one. Erin Colton, the main anchor from News 12, like, she looks at my stories and follows me, so I feel like if they wanted to, they probably would have. But I'm good. Like, I actually don't even. I kind of gotten bored of doing the news. I'll do it occasionally, but it's like you just answer the same like 5 questions in like a 30-second span, and that's kind of it, you know. There's not really much depth to it. Like, live streaming is almost the polar opposite of the news. This is just pure real life, deep conversations and long extended ones versus like bite-sized answers, high energy. Which is great, it's a tool, but I already did the 9 Club, Ace, right after I finished. So guys, we're basically, you know, we're done now, and we got pretty close to $35,000 raised, 100% of which goes to Natural High. So give yourselves a round of applause, even if you didn't donate, if you hung out, if you helped the algorithm, if you commented, whatever. If you left a hate comment, you helped in a way, you know? Helped boost engagement, you know? That's insane. And I think we're like only a couple hundred short, so once we're done, or maybe like I'll try to see if there's like a wrap-up thing or a plaque I can get or a printout or something, and then I'll make a post about it, and I'll donate the rest, maybe myself, and get us up to like 35K. if we're not there. But I'm proud of that number. I am proud of that number. It's a lot of money to raise, you know. Especially coming from where I came from, you know. You would post it on your IG, Tony Alma. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, during the trip, I was like non-existent. I didn't have an extra morsel of energy or time for anything. I couldn't answer business emails or even talk to my wife. Like I was just tapped dry. And I wanted to get up so many posts, which was my whole strategy for making this thing big, and I couldn't even do it. I was just too dead. I had no time, but I appreciate you. Did I ever think I would raise this much? Yeah, I did. I actually had my eyes more set on like 100,000. I thought my goal was to have everyone do their own campaigns with GoFundMe's new feature where you do a local skate and you raise money. And everyone does that and it all would have counted towards the same total, but nobody really got into it. And I thought that could spread like more globally. And I thought with my clips and stuff, that would all spread more globally. So I did have ambitions because last time I raised in total 50,000, but I only donated, 25% because I had to use the other money to make the trip happen. This time I spent all my own money on the trip and gave 100% of it. So maybe people donated more because they thought it was helping the trip happen. Whatever the case, I'm still very, very proud, and it's the most money I've ever made or donated in my life. So, yeah. But I was shooting high. You know me, I shoot high. I shot high for the 30-day goal, and I shot high for what I thought I could raise, but still really happy with both of those numbers, yeah. I got a haircut and I got a face cut. Maybe I'll do a 5-mile face reveal. We'll see. We'll see. Yeah, the fundraiser's still up and open. I don't know if I close it or how it even works, but it's still open now. Once I hit 35 or I donate 35, I mean the rest, and then hit that, I'll probably close it if that's an option. But either way, I want to get there before I close it. Let's see, we're going on the beach, so let's see how this service does. You let me know if I need to drop bit rate. I think we're okay for right now. Skating on the bike path, live streaming. What are you up to? Nice. How was school? Good. That's good. So you guys gonna go out to eat, or what are you doing? Okay. 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 Well, you want me to stop there on my way home, or you want us to meet later? Or? Okay. Yeah. Okay. Really? Wow. That's wild. Okay. Well, I guess I'll call you when I'm finished streaming. Okay, love you. Bye. Alright, we're back. That's the wife. What time we got? 5:30. We'll probably skate for an hour at least. These wheels are slow. Phoenix Benjamin. Good afternoon. Beautiful day though. A little warm. Nice little cool breeze off the water. I've done this trail so many times, I know when wheels are slothy. And these, I don't know if it's those bearings that don't belong in these street wheels, that's probably it. Hey, we're rolling, we almost weren't able to skate, so I'll take it. Alright, we might need to drop bit rate. No. Solid Snake, good afternoon. All right, let me get some tunes on for this trail. This is definitely a tune trail. Let's see. Maybe I'll drop bit rate. I feel like we're getting into glitch territory. Let's try to beat it. All right, about 3 miles in. No, Mike Howard, we would never ever ride Bones. No, no, no. Because everything in life is context, right? So when you're me and you know that you DM'd Bones Bearings and they said, you know, yeah, we'll support your skate, the first one, and we'll send you bearings and a t-shirt. And then they say, hold on. And then they go check with the big man, and then they come back into DMs and say, actually, it's not in our budget. Good luck on your trip. I mean, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out what happened there. And I'm not a budget master, but I do know that bearings and a shirt basically fall into anyone's budget. And the new year was starting in January, so you should have a new budget. So, you know, you tend to see through these things, and then you don't ever, you know, give them passive support for no reason, for free. All right. My camera, no. So the viewer's just giving me bearings, right? But if I use the bearings, I'm publicly endorsing whatever brand it is. You know what I mean? So. Yo, Matt Caruso, what up? Nice sky right now. Right now I'm on Ocean Parkway in Long Island. Cruising the bike path from Crabtree to Robert Moses. Bun. Bunny number 2. So 2 bunnies, 0 honks. That's it. You know, today I was just chilling and like something sparked in my mind, like thinking back to the trip. I was like, I fell a ton on that trip. I can't believe how much I fell. Like I got the crap beat out of me. I felt like I was learning a trick or filming a video part or something. It's crazy. Last time like my feet were sore, but I didn't fall. I don't know if I really fell at all. Got 2 buns and a microphone. All right. Oh yeah. Nice relaxing skate. No lights, no cars. Yeah, it was a few different factors. It was the stream. It was constantly editing and uploading and looking at the chat with my other hand, so I, less time looking forward. But one of the main things was that I pushed switch more, and I had to go through harder terrain that I would normally go through regular. Like, so if there's little pebbles or rough ground, I would go through it regular. but because of my injury, I was finding myself going more switch. There's plenty of other falls too, but that was like a bunch of them. And I fall more forward with switch. I don't have the same like quick reaction, and my weight's more leaning forward. Oh, bun number 3. Tried to sneak by me. The first 100-mile day, I actually, surprisingly, I was tired, but I wasn't really that exhausted or in pain. I think that was day 4 or 5. It was like a dream, really. It felt like, well, day 1, I had no idea what to expect. So the fact that I was like close to my daily goal, I think I did like 80 or 85 miles or something. And the stream went well. It was one stream straight through. I was like, wow, okay, it's like kind of working. And like some people tuned in like, wow, it's working. So that was a huge load lifted off. Then day 2, a gnarly hot day. Climbing, not only like, I went through the Morongo Reservation and all this stuff, but then I went through the desert, long hot stretch, and then at like mile 60 or 70, went up a mountain, gigantic climb. And that felt cool, even though the filming and stuff was spotty. They had the live stream at the top. Or, no, what were they doing? Yeah, I think they were filming down the mountain. And I wasn't in the stream, but I just remember, like, it just felt like a moment. And I couldn't believe I made it up it. Oh, number 4. And that was another point of doubt. Will I make it up? Will my knee hurt? Like, can I do a long day and climb this mountain? I'm basically combining 2 days from the last trip into one. So all these things I was unsure about. So then day 2, elated. Day 3, straight through the wilderness. And for the most part, we stayed kind of connected, I think. Maybe it was rougher than I thought, but I feel like we had some cool angles from the follow cam, and like, all right, we figured that out. Like, we didn't know if that would work, and we're streaming through the desert. Then there were some really cool sunrises and cool angles. So, and then day 4 or 5, I'm hitting a 100-mile day. I'm just like stacking these days, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna do this. It just felt like this crazy momentum. And then we ran into some pain and problems. But I looked back at the Strava, and that was kind of the feeling I got even looking back at it too. Like, wow, that was a moment. Like, I came out swinging, and damn. Which, Krista, see, I wasn't in here. So I don't know how to, I should look at the live chat replay, actually. I don't even know what that stream looked like what the vibe was like, but we didn't really have our full crew yet, if I'm not mistaken. So I didn't think it would be going nuts kind of like that in the beginning, but. Oh man, the Guadalupe, yeah, we had some disconnection issues, I think, at some parts, but the follow cam, and then I did the hill bomb after. I don't know if that was connected, but that was a crazy feeling, and like, I was flying. That might have been the fastest I went the whole trip. I think Danny was freaking out driving down, like, watching me zigzag down it. Oh man, and my knee, I didn't know if I'd make it up. I could barely like stand on it, and I'm just powering through it. There were so many like, yeah. I can't expect you guys to feel what I felt because I can't even bring back what I felt those days. I could do my best, but some of those days, that feeling, every day I had this giant pit in my stomach that today was impossible and there was no way I could do it. You know, like every day of the trip was like that until my knee got better and we hit those smooth roads in Florida, really. That was kind of, and I started going from 60 to 70 miles a day again. Every day before that felt like this is impossible. But that's good. Those are good muscles to break in, you know. Maybe I should just go to Cedar Beach. Let's see. Should I? Yeah, we'll hang out on the beach for a second, maybe. Let's do it. Because this is the 5 mile mark. I'll do 10 miles. And maybe I'll see. I've never actually. Have I been there? I mean, I must have been there. Danny is I think he flew home today or tomorrow. Danny boy, Danny boy, Danny boy. See if we lose service in here. I guess a skateboard could be like a beach chair. You just, well, no. I'll ruin my bearings if I plop it down like that. Well, I feel like I'm cheating. I might feel that way forever. Aviator, you're a lifesaver. How's it going? Can I just do a Diet Coke, please? What do you need? Just a Diet Coke. How you feeling today?
Not bad. Not, it's now that the sun's out.
All right.
Makes me happy because it was supposed to be rain, a little bit, possibly rain, you know.
Yeah, it looks like it's getting nice.
What for? Just $3, buddy.
Thank you.
There you go. I'm not supposed to do it. You know what I can't. I'm just gonna give it to you, all right?
I'll also be able to have a water too. I do a water also. You can have it here. There you go. Yeah. Thanks.
You got it.
Where shall I sit? Oh, this is a good spot for me anyway. Shade, no. I got nowhere to sit. That's blocked off. Oh, there's a bunch down there. Cool.
It's feeling good now. A lot better. Yeah.
Look at that. You guys want to talk about a vacation? You guys say I don't relax? I don't care. I make nothing from the streams anyway, so at least we got some tunes now. That's way too high. Like that. Cool. All right, doing it. Nice little break. Come on, you guys say I never relax. If I had to do a coast-to-coast skate again, what would I do differently and what would I pack? I probably just wouldn't do it. Gotta have ice, man. It's all about the ice. Lazy River there? No, they have the ocean, the Atlantic Ocean, so the beach is like right there, maybe a couple football fields away, and then also there's an insane beach volleyball just everywhere. I don't know if you guys could see that, but look. It's all beach volleyball. All that back there. Beach volleyball. And over there too. You don't want to see me throw down a beach volleyball. And neither do they. Yeah, so this side, Atlantic Ocean, and the side I was just on when I walked under, that's the inlet side, goes to the bay. Alchemy, come on, man, you good at volleyball? You don't have a tan like mine and not be good at volleyball, you know? Listen, my mom taught me when I was younger. She said, listen, be careful. When you go play beach volleyball, you don't understand the powers you possess. And sometimes you gotta let them have it, you know? So I've learned to reserve my skills, keep them under wraps, you know? Other things besides skateboarding? I don't know about that. I don't know about that. I think I'm gonna skate back. Let's do it. It was fun while it lasted, but. All right. That was nice. You know, quick little DC on the beach. Nothing crazy. You know? They say a DC a day keeps the doctor away. So. Just following orders.
Yeah, no, I did that. It was a good, I know like I have to do that stories every weekend. Like,
All right. On the road again. I can't wait to have my own show again. Lost connection. What? Mama, pour me a cup. Yeah, guys, you'd be surprised. Like, when I do these live streams, I have to, you know what? I'll just go and check. Let's see. Just so you guys could actually see. Hold on. Oh, wait, we froze? I think my mom's telling me we froze, but everyone in the chat is talking like we're fine. So I think she just maybe froze on her end. False alarm. All right. Let's look. I'll give you guys a little insight, a little BTS. Nope, that's too recent. Okay, so I made, from that live, like the last live I did for 2.5 hours, I made 30 bucks, 33 bucks. So when the music plays and it gets demonetized, it's like, whatever. If the stream's better, like, who cares? $33 ain't really changing my life, you know what I mean? I guess over time it could, but I'm not too worried about it. So YouTube pays me currently. Let's see. Yeah, about $10 an hour. Or maybe they take taxes before they pay you too. No, it's less than 13 an hour. It's 11 an hour minus tax. Oh yeah, maybe it is. No, it's like 13 an hour. Yeah, because it was not a full. Whatever the case. And I don't know how it works on other platforms. You know, I've heard people saying you make a lot, but I have not experienced that. I'm going to Jackson. And then sometimes I get demonetized when I sing because I sound so close to the artist. They mistake me for the artist. And then I get demonetized. So sometimes I have to try to purposefully sing worse so they don't, you know, demonetize me. No, see, that's the thing. I don't mind if they're playing music in there and they demonetize my video, but with my voice, I think YouTube takes that much more seriously, and they may shut down my channel, so I don't really want to risk it, because you know, that goes beyond playing a song. That's like impersonation. You know, and I think YouTube takes that stuff very seriously. So, we'll have to, you know, sometimes you gotta make sacrifices, right? Life is about sacrifice. That is one of the tenets of my existence. It reminds me of a Jack White lyric, kind of unrelated, but it's from the song called Entitlement. I'm not going to sing it, I'll say it. But he goes, I can't bring myself to take without penance, or atonements, or sweat from my brow. All right, look, I'm gonna give you guys a little peek I don't think I could reach on my chest, but hold on. Let me see if I can get you this. The raised overview. Hold on. So in there's all these little like kind of islands and cut throughs and what have yous. Sometimes people just park their boats in there and hang. That could be cool, looking at all the things I was given throughout the trip and making a video out of it. Could be cool. Or maybe I could just include it, and I kind of want to do a wrap-up video, like a reflection video maybe of the whole thing. I gotta write out some clear points and things, and maybe I'll stick that in there. Things people gave me. It's a tough, one, I don't know if I fully processed it yet, and two, it's a big thing to tackle, you know what I mean? On one hand, it's just like, yeah, I'll remember all this stuff and I'll say a bunch of things, but on the other hand, it's like, there's so much that went into it, and so many different like things I could talk about from, so I think I gotta get that one a little more organized in my mind. Oh, bunny number 5. I ended up with like 2 or 3 challenge coins. I think 3. One from Neptune Beach, one from like the Navy in like somewhere, like the middle of the country somewhere, I think. And then I think I got one from Morongo in the beginning. Maybe there was more, but at least 3. David Polanco, no thank you for being here for the live stream. That mini ramp is actually the guy, Tony Memento, who was here in the beginning of the trip. That's at his house in his backyard. And that bachelor party, yeah, we stopped there after my dinner, my sober dinner. Oh, yeah. Let's see what the weather's like tomorrow. No, I have to submit everything to Guinness still. Today was actually the first day I sat down and went on the computer and started submitting evidence. So I started uploading things. And just got a couple of the hard parts. All the GPX files and things from the trip. You know, logbook, witness book, things like that. They're gonna be like, if Guinness World Record had to watch my, yeah. Dude, I bet you they couldn't even watch the skate. I bet you they'd get to Texas and they'd be like, I can't watch this. It is too painful. This is worse than every horror movie I've ever seen. Please. Anything but this. Yeah, it's kind of cool right now. I'm liking it. I have seen Modest Mouse live 2 times. Or maybe 3. No, it was 2. Maybe it was 3. No, I think it was 2. Maybe it was 3. I think I saw him once at the Garden. Maybe. Or maybe it was the Black Keys, or maybe it was both. I can't remember. I saw them once some other time. And that was one of the best shows I ever saw. And then I saw them play Lonesome Crowded West in Brooklyn, the whole album, right before the drummer passed away, like 2 days before. It was like, might have been the last show or the second to last show he played. I think what was his name, Jeremiah? Is that what it was? You know, nowadays, I'm so invested in like focusing on my own craft. I don't really care to go to shows or invest my time or energy to do that. I just want to try to stay focused. But the only people that get me excited is maybe I'll see Modest Mouse again. But really right now it's Shaky Graves. I go out of my way to see him and support him. He's given me tons of music over this past trip that I've enjoyed, so it'd be cool to go support him. I think he's doing a couple of shows. I think this summer he's going to be in Jersey, so maybe I'll go see him there. All right. I realized I haven't been on camera much, so the next good question I get, I'll pop out and answer it. Today I'm looking to do 10 miles at least, 10. Oh yeah. All right, let me throw on a tune. How about that? Maybe. Krista, me and Danny maybe do a live stream once a week. We'll see if we can fit it in, but what's it called? Well, I'm going away this weekend and he wants to do a Friday, but I might have to leave Friday early. So we'll see. And maybe tomorrow I could have done it. But I think he's got something going on, so we'll see. We'll squeeze him in. Well, you know what? Maybe I'll just go in tomorrow anyway. I'll go to the Knicks parade. Nah, that's usually something I wouldn't care to do. Oh, Jack White he's one of my favorite artists and one of my favorite live shows. Always high energy and never a boring, repeatable set list, generally. Danny, I don't know if he could handle the food truck. I run a tight ship over there. A little windy, but not too bad. I've been on this path down by the beach. It can get really windy, and I've had some days where it's like You're not even moving. So, I saw you comment that twice about the hate comment Danny got about making money off of what I did or something like that. I've seen so many comments. And I also just pay really close attention to everything. Comments are projections of how you view the world. It's nothing more than that. So you think you're stating something that you think everyone sees, but that's your reality and how you view the world. And whether that matches up with people or not, that's your belief, and that's how you view it. That's how, if that kid was in that position, that's what he would be doing. So that's why he says it, that Danny's doing that for money. You know what I mean? So that didn't exist. That was a narrative he projected onto what Danny did. Danny's thing's neutral, right? Then you could break it down even further and say, is there anything wrong with that? Let's say worst case scenario, I was doing exactly what you're saying. Is that bad? Trying hard to learn something new and push your limits and practice and focus at something and help others and help yourself. And by default, naturally, you get a couple of cents come in. So it's like you're working hard and then receiving pay for it. So if you worked hard somewhere, you wouldn't want to get paid. So you see, when you break it down, it just becomes like a jealousy thing, right? And that's where his comment stems from, you know what I mean? So I've seen so many of it, it's like I could just see and slice right through all of this stuff, you know? And that's one of the best parts of doing this whole thing. If you do it with eyes wide open and sober and clear and on a path to learn and pay attention, you could learn a ton about people and psychology and behavior and yourself, you know? See, but Tristine, you shouldn't let that stop you, right? Because then they succeeded at their job, right? For me, the tool is to be able to watch those come in and learn how to process it and understand it, right? And where that's coming from. They're not gonna let their hate and bad opinions and feelings and judgments stop how I want to live my life and do things in this world, yeah. And that dude's been doing laps. He's probably at mile 50, I'd say. I know this trail pretty well. Well, he was coming back when I started. He went all the way there and back. So that there and back is like a marathon, so it's 26 miles. So maybe he did it a second time. So yeah, maybe he's doing 50 miles. Shout out to that dude. Hey, You could handle the hate. If you say you can't, you can't. Not with that attitude, you know what I mean? If you say you can't handle it, then yeah, you can't. But if you can, then you can. And will you? I think you can. And I also was a sensitive person myself. And I didn't want to do it, which is part of the reason why I went down my drinking escapade for 10 years before this, right? It was ultimately to avoid feeling. I felt too much. And so I drank and numbed it away and didn't have to face responsibility or anything. And now I face it all head on and grow and face the pain and grow at a rapid rate instead of hiding from it and then facing it years later and it's a monster. And I have no tools to face it with. It was a long, long, painful lesson I had to learn there. And then, I mean, it took me years and years and years, like, you know, and even this, practicing this, to now I feel like I'm set free. And the sounds people make with their mouths, though, they bounce off me like ping pong balls, you know? But it wasn't always like that. See, look, a lot of people in the chat felt the same way, you know? It's a common thing, and I think it comes with age, too. You start to see through some of this stuff over time, and, you know, I don't think it's unique to me, or I think it's like, you know, a common thing that's maybe not talked about as much, you know? Or understood. Maybe it's talked about, but it's not really like. Hey, Oregon XL. Thanks for sharing. And yeah, it's awesome. Every year it gets easier and easier, I get stronger and stronger, and I just see through things and like slice through them every year with more clarity, you know, and facing them. It's a tool. It's like weightlifting. So you weightlift all those years and then you can see through it all, you know, but if you're always running away from it or drinking or whatever, you never quite face all those things, you know. And then eventually you don't even think about it. It's just like a second nature tool, you know. Don't change a thing. Oh yeah, thank you for sharing. By you sharing, it gave everyone and myself, you know, something great. Look at that. That's nice. Maybe this is due for a pause. I kind of want to go in, but I'm not going to at all. But I kind of want to. It just looks so like calm and nice. I got a little blue crab snip at my toe. It's barbecue season. Didn't realize they made a little walk down here. I'm not gonna walk down, but it's nice to know. Yeah, you know, that happens. When you take away the drinking, or whatever X habit it is, or even X, doesn't have to be a habit, right? Sometimes people could just disappear once that thing disappears, because that was the common ground. I'm referring to the comment from David. So, yeah, very true. Very true. I thought I had great friends too. And I think I don't hold anything really against them, but you know, I try to do. Yeah, I was kind of like ruining my own life, but in my own mind, I was trying to be selfless and always help people. I help them move if they any favor, anything. I'm always there. And then I got my DWI, my second DWI, maybe first, both of them. And I looked around and nobody was there. I had no one to help. You know? And then I was like, yeah, that's it. And I started looking out for myself then. Not in a mean way, not in a selfish way, just taking literal care of myself. Dude, he's going back for more. You know, it's a very human thing. Like, I don't try to take it personally. It's just like, if I skateboard and then I quit skateboarding and start BMXing, it's like a lot of those friends will probably disappear. Maybe one will stick around that I've known my whole life or something, that we have a deeper bond with. But people just want to feel like they're in a group of people like them, generally, you know? So that's what we seek out, to reaffirm and feel more comfortable with who we think we are. So yeah, you take out the drinking and then you start seeing all these other things pop up. Maybe these people have a judgment and thought about it. It's all natural. But in the moment it feels uncomfortable. As David Bowie would say, turn and face the strange changes. This heart is only real estate. Think it's time I did it all. Hey, David. See you later. Enjoy your Monday. Hope it's another great one. Best day of the week. Nick Blazer. Oh yeah, we've been consistent every day, not all day, but we pop on for like 2 hours a day. About 2 to 3, 1.5. I've been doing later day ones now because I'm realizing more people are kind of free probably around this time. I was doing like 6, 7 a.m. ones, or I did one on like Sunday after the Knicks game. Saturday night, yeah, probably not the best time, but we're out here. Whenever I have time and I'm doing it, then you guys can come. That's kind of how I'm doing it. Truckers, I was a trucker. And truckers were some of the nicest people. And they're some of the best people out on the road. Because people are scared of them because they're big, and like, if you don't drive a lot, you see a truck, you're like scared and hate truckers. But they actually follow the rules better than most people and respect them. Timitanium. Yo, I can go for a bean water right now, man. Broke your thumb? All right, so play some lap steel. Let's go, get a slide guitar. You'll be all right. Oh, dude, 6 string. Listen, I know you want to hear me noodle around on the guitar, but my mom always told me, I think you know what she said, but I like to keep that reserved, you know, for the greater good of humanity. I like to keep that tucked in my back pocket. If no one knows the sarcasm, then they just pop it in. It's kind of funny as hell. That's one thing. I can't gauge like how often people have been in here. I know some of you guys, right? But like, it's hard to keep track of every person. I always wonder like how much people have caught up on jokes or know about like certain things, you know? Probably more than I expect, but it's funny. Steph, do not Google bean water. You might end up in a weird rabbit hole. You got anything? No, nothing. I don't know what he's going for. Probably. No. Too early for snapper. Hey, Timitanium. I appreciate that. Oh no, I was not sounding good on that thing, that's for sure. Yes, this is the exact section. Right back there is where the seagulls they love this one stretch and they just all drop their shells there to feast. A feast of friends, alive she cried. The 500, they've slowly drifted away. I think it's more of the 200 now. Or, it's probably more of like 200 of the 5 could show up at the random times I'm doing it. Also, like, there were people that just left it on. Like, if I started early or something, they just put it on all day and leave it on. Coffee shop, skate shop, like, so if I'm not on, I imagine it's harder to do that. If I just pop on later, all sorts of different variables, so. I imagine if I had better thumbnails and better stream ideas, I try to just keep this easy and I don't really think about it. I just take a picture and then just go skate. But I imagine that stuff would help. Do I care? Do I care? $10.5. Let's see. My left knee's a little sore today. But I'd say overall, I feel really good. Once I get this Achilles down, it's really not that bad. And we'll see what the MRI says, but ultimately, I don't think it's going to change much. And so, what am I going to do? I'm just going to live with it. And obviously you saw I was skating 100 miles, so it's not perfect, but it works. Dank buds. Yeah, I don't, yeah, and also I think this one was an original idea too. While it was still a skate across America, which was the same as my last idea, the live stream kicker made it pretty unique, I feel. Like no one's done it, and I feel like after this, you're gonna see a ton of people use this format. Watch, because I've seen this cycle before. I did it, and it felt like nothing happened, and then a year later, 9 months later, a bunch of other people started doing it. And I started seeing it, and they were messaging me, and I watched it all play out. So I realized it takes time for it to kind of unfold into society and for people to execute, and like, so you watch the, yeah, oh, bunnies, it's buns, an Oreo. But yeah, that's the thing, I don't need an original idea, but they do just happen to come to me. But I don't really rush them, that's the thing. Once I get hit in the head with an idea, banged over the head, I kind of can't shake it, and then I bring it to life. It's a blessing and a curse. But more so a blessing. Oh yeah. I have zero desire to skate across Japan. But thank you for the suggestion. That's the thing, there's a beauty in being early, right? But there's also like not a beauty in being early. That's why I said it was a blessing and a curse. Because you could look at people like Tom Green, for example, who was early and started podcasting and had Joe Rogan on. But then it takes time for ideas to come about, and then Joe Rogan did it, and then it became bigger, And a lot of times if you're too early, you kind of miss, you miss the boat in a sense, almost in the opposite way. But it really makes no difference to me, because that's just how I like to live my life. So if it works, it works, and if it doesn't, it doesn't. But that's what brings me joy, is bringing those things to life and giving them to the world and myself. You know what I mean? There she is. Oh, Cliff Bar from the trip. Oh, I fell in my bag, whoops. Reckless. All right, let me pop out, pop it off. All right, I gotta clean this van tonight. It's really not much, but a couple things. Beautiful night though, look at this. Evening. Yeah, Danny's been slacking, man. He's got to clean this thing, man. All right, cool. Give you guys a little view while we're hanging out, right? So you could enjoy it. You know, it reeks of Subway in here, though, I'll tell you that. Danny, you gotta clean this thing, man. And Danny, boy, you lacking. All right. Doesn't look that good from right there, though, right? It kind of disappears when you're not zoomed in. Nice. What's up, Mom? Thanks for popping in. How we doing? I had my dog in here for like 2 hours. More of a mess from that dog than the whole entire trip. I mean, there's hair everywhere. It's crazy. Golden Retriever for 2 hours is like insane. Gotta hit the protein. Tried these for the first time. They're all right. I'll eat them because they're open, but. Feels good to finally have new shoes. Yep. All right, guys, maybe, but probably not. City tomorrow, probably not. I don't know. I'll try to think of something fun. I think I'm kind of free tomorrow, roughly. Lost a bolt, that's good. All right, guys, let me see what's going on in the chat. Keep getting this question. Would I have brought anything on the last trip? No, I would have done it the exact same way, or I probably just wouldn't do it again. Okay. No, the van does not have a built-in vacuum. It came with Danny, but yeah, he's no longer part of the van anymore. That was an add-on accessory. We lost that one. I got the same ones, same New Balances, size 11, a little bigger than my normal size. They were hard to find. I looked all over, and they made a new model since then. And so, like, stores stopped getting these. Oh, yeah. All right. Saturday's Go Skate Day. Stance Socks actually invited me for Go Skate Day in the city, but I think I'm going to be in Montauk with my wife, so probably not going to the city for Go Skate Day. Looks like we might be getting a lobster roll. Maybe I'll bring my regular board too, but I don't know, probably not. There's a nice park out there in Montauk, but I don't think I haven't rode a regular skateboard or done tricks or small wheels, like nothing in 9 months, maybe more. But we'll see. I should probably go eat some dinner and hang with the wife. Even though the sun's out, it's a little late. So, hey, thank you guys for hanging. It's been fun. Had a good chat today. I'm gonna keep trying to do these evenings, like 5 o'clock, 4:30 to 6:30, 4 to 6 Eastern. And if I have no time, I'll do one in the morning. And that's it. All right. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace. Bird dog. I gotta go. Peace. Later, later, later.